A very good morning. It is Thursday, the 2nd of November. Thanks for clicking on to the Vogan's European Outlook for today. Of course, the winter forecast was released yesterday. Just want to kind of talk about what I'd said in that forecast and look into things a little bit more. Of course, I've thrown out there the components we've got to look at for this upcoming winter season. The onset of the weak La Nina, which, by the way, hasn't been declared yet, but it will be. It's very, very likely that over the next couple of weeks we are going to be talking about a La Nina officially declared. You can see here the current sea surface temperature profile in the equatorial Pacific, and you've got quite a significant amount of cool off the South American coast extending westwards into the Central Pacific. But with this correlation of what to me looks like a fairly substantial La Nina, we've also got, of course, the warm water off the eastern seaboard of North America, and we've got also, of course, the large area of cool water over the North Atlantic, warm off Iberia, warm to the north of the UK. To me, that signifies in the longer term a lower pressure pattern over the North Atlantic, and in a sense, higher pressure extending from the Azores up into the UK here. So that isn't, of course, what you would want to hear for a cold winter. But like we seen last year, we had below normal Arctic sea ice at this time of the year, and that's a long-term trend, of course, that we've seen in many years for the past many years, really. And of course, we've also seen a slightly above normal Eurasian snow cover. What is quite interesting, I think, is the fact that while we had a much greater extent of snow covering Eurasia this time last year, what we're seeing is we're seeing more snow cover over Scandinavia, which might be interesting. The Jamstec, if you go back to the winter forecast that I'd released yesterday morning, I did actually last night add in the model, the Jamstec model, which indicates a warm Scandinavia and a colder UK and southwestern Europe, which is quite interesting. Again, like the CFSV2, these models don't have the best of skill in terms of the longer range here. So it's very difficult to pinpoint. How strong the La Nina becomes is also a key factor, as well as the North Atlantic sea surface temperature profile. We've got a westerly QBO still, which indicates that despite the below normal Arctic sea ice, the above normal Eurasian snow cover, which would tend to favour a negative Arctic oscillation, North Atlantic oscillation during the winter months, also increases the chance of stratospheric warming events. Like we've seen in recent years, though, QBO has been persistently westerly, which has meant that the westerlies have still remained dominant here. The El Nino last year really did overpower the system, so to speak, and we had a very warm winter across many parts of the world, including North America and Europe. This year we've got a La Nina. Weak La Ninas tend to favour a little bit cooler across Western Europe. Stronger La Ninas tend to favour warmer. So we just need to wait and see exactly how much this La Nina progresses as we go from summer into winter and the response that has on the atmosphere above us. I do think that it will be a cooler winter than it was last year. That wouldn't be difficult, of course, given how warm it really was. I do think we've got more chance this year as the solar cycle 24 comes off that peak from a couple of years ago. Um, like I said in the written post, that it can be very complex determining what we're going to get cold wise and how much blocking we're going to get over the high latitudes when it's on a descending trend. It's come off a strong super El Nino. We've seen tremendous global warming because of that. And now that we've got the switch around that we've seen in decades gone by, this is what happens is you get the strong El Nino, then you get a responsive La Nina, and that allows the atmosphere globally to start cooling once again. Is it too early to jump too cold too quick? That could be a good question here. I do think the westerlies are going to be the main dominant factor once again this year, but I do think we're more open to high latitude blocking episodes, stratospheric warming episodes that favour cold in Western Europe, including the UK, that we simply haven't seen in a few years now. Really, since 2011, 2010, 2011 winter, we've had warm winters. We've had spells of wet. We've also had spells of dry. But in the grand scheme of things, it has been warmer than normal once again. And a lot of that's in response to the solar cycle 24 maxing out around 2014, 2015. And then, of course, like I say, you've got the responsive super El Nino. We've seen it back in 88, 89. We've seen it in 95, 96. Or 97, 98, sorry, I'm getting my years mixed up. And then, of course, we've seen that in 2015, 2016. So the atmosphere overall is doing what it has always done. Pinpoint exactly how the winters are going to pan out can be a difficult process to try and work out. I do think overall it's a milder winter, but that does not mean we can't get spells of fairly intense cold and snow. Now, at the end of December 1995, this was in the middle ground between a solar max and a solar minimum. We've seen the outbreak of December 1995. Temperature hit -27 at Altnahara and also -20. The coldest night on record in Glasgow was at the end of December 1995. We can get intense cold spells in a winter that's seemingly uneventful. If you look at the overall pattern and the overall data which came out in 95, 96 winter, it was really not that special, but we've seen a record cold spell within that. The point I'm trying to make is that I think we're going to increase our chances of seeing cold spells as we head towards the minimum. Once we reach the minimum, however, I think another 78, 79 and 09, 10 winter is coming back, and around 2020 is the estimated time when we're going to see solar cycle 24 reach the minimum here. So plenty of things to look at this winter. I'm not in any way suggesting this is going to be a poor winter in terms of cold and snow, but just because you get an overall 90-day period which is warmer than normal doesn't mean you can get dramatic winter weather within that. So that's what I'm saying. We'll have to watch and wait and see what happens. So thanks for watching today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll be back again in the next few days, hopefully with more. Bye for now.